Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going on to Bitcoin. Because the CoinsKid cruise, so Bitcoin has found a leg of support, hasn't it? But possibly some kind of stop on occurring in the crypto markets yesterday, especially for XRP and our beloved Bitcoin, obviously. But what we've got here is a rising wedge on a DXY. Look at this, resistance, breakdown, double tap resistance, boom, drop. Technical target been met. Now, if it's a crypto project, what you would do if you was looking to make money in this space, this is the hourly time frame, okay? These rising wedges, they occur in so many crypto charts, stock charts, things like that, as do falling wedges, okay? That's the inverse of this particular pattern. So what we've got is the 3 points of resistance, and then we eventually broke down, double tap the resistance, confirming this resistance. You put your stop loss on the swing high, and you ride it all the way down to the technical target, okay? So if you spot these patterns, they do print on 5 minute, 1 minute, 15 minute, you know, there's sort of a diminishing sort of trend running out of steam. This is the way I look at it, okay? So you get a level of resistance like that, usually accompanied with bearish divergence as well. This is why you drop the RSI in. So we've got the RSI, series of lower highs, and then boom, we've dropped. And always take profit at a technical target. So if this was a crypto project, you would have made money shorting it, basically, okay? And obviously the inverse correlation is a, you know, falling wedge. For example, flip the chart, falling wedge gets really, really tight, double tap the support once you break out. That's your entry point with your stop loss on the swing low, and then you ride it all the way back up to where you form the wedge. Job done, you know, because at this point it can come back and retrace and lose the lows from which you've come, and you know you're not making any money. So these are little patterns that I do spot, and this one on the DXY is played out like an absolute boss, okay? So the big question mark right now is obviously this broke down yesterday and Bitcoin went with it, didn't it? So at the minute the sort of inverse correlation is not existing, isn't it? So what I'm looking at for the DXY, like I said to you, patience game. If this does start to come back up right now and it takes out this high, I think the next leg of the resistance for the DXY is that white line there, okay? Now I had this white line drawn in last week, and the reason is because it's this swing high and this God candle breakout. So what the DXY has done here, it's come up, printed a bearish divergence, came down, made a lower high, and boom, bounced off this swing high, okay? And we see this so many times as well, you know, God candle backtest breakouts. So what the DXY right now is doing possibly is creating some kind of reversal pattern. If it begins to come back down and sweeps this low, I think we could actually have a confirmation of a bottom here for Bitcoin. So we'll keep an eye on this going forward, and this white line might not necessarily be met. Okay, so we're looking, you know, is this the top for the DXY into this green line here, which is a 382 fib? Look at that, absolute dollar and cent right there. And I think we spoke about the daily hanging man candle, didn't we? Which is a trend reversal candle on the daily time frame way back there. I was getting confirmation, and people did confirm that particular candle for me. Right now we've come back down in a huge correction. Is it a case we found a swing high, swing low, find support, we go? Absolutely possible. So we'll keep an eye on the DXY over the next sort of few days. But like I said to you, on the weekly time frame here for the DXY, it's getting a little bit greedy, isn't it? I mean, look at the overextension from the EMAs. You're taking off into space, so some kind of retracement would be healthy, and this is why I did think we would see some kind of relief, some kind of bounce for Bitcoin. But what we did yesterday, we fell with the DXY, and we've actually put in a stop on, in my opinion. So I'm a little bit more leaning towards the fact that the DXY might create a deeper retracement here, and Bitcoin might start to come back up the stairs. Okay, so let's dive into the Bitcoin chart to see what we can see today. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, at the moment, I can't get too bearish again. You know, people are saying permeable or whatever, but, you know, we've not even lost that low just yet. If we do lose that low, then yeah, squeaky bum time. We head towards this trend line right there, that yellow trend line. I think if we do begin to break down below that, then, you know, we've got to flip from bull to bear, haven't we? Because we're losing an historical trend line right there that's been held for support for Bitcoin. I think 4 times since 2017 that we've actually created this trend line where we've found it, it's found support and bounced like a boss. So until we start to break down below that, I think we're simply going for retracement. And, you know, it is a guessing game exactly where this retracement is going to go to. Now, what I'm looking for here is signals in the charts that the trend has changed. At the moment, what we've got, in my opinion, is this sort of nasty C wave we're going through for Bitcoin. Okay, from this top here, I think this is your top of an impulsive move. And then we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your 1, 2, 3 ABC back up there, and then boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then possibly final 5th wave. Absolutely possible. But what we're looking for right now for Bitcoin on the counter 5 wave trend is a bullish engulfing candle, which could indicate to us that the trend has changed. Okay, just like this trend here, we've got this sort of rising channel, haven't we, for Bitcoin, where your candle bodies are opening and closing just there. And what we did do at the top of this move here is print a bearish engulfing candle. So this was screaming retracement, okay, and that's exactly what's happened. Accompanied with that, we've got the huge bearish divergence. So you've got a high, lower highs coming up, and eventually, you with the bullish engulfing candle, it was a signal that it was playing out, coming in for retracement back down to where you came from, and that's exactly what's happened. Okay, so we've had this massive crash, and as you can clearly see, we've got the divergence here, the bullish divergence anyway, where we've got this low, and we're still creating this bullish divergence for Bitcoin, just like this bearish divergence at the top of this trend, possibly the bullish divergence at the top of this correction, basically. So what we've got here still, this still remains, is this bullish divergence to Bitcoin. So what I'm looking at right now is a possible scenario. If we start, like I said to you, just please be patient, kick back, relax. We can all guess where the top and the bottom is, but what we want to see is confirmation in the charts. One thing I'm looking for, which could be a major go signal for you, is for Bitcoin to get its ass back above these EMAs, close out above with a bullish cross. At that point, I think going long and putting your stop loss on the swing low from wherever you've come will be an optimal trade for you going forward. Okay, but until then, let's just ride this correction out and be a little bit patient. Okay, so the stops were stopped out, obviously. Look at that stop point, boom, yesterday, liquidity grab, boom, all the balls have been stopped out basically and grabbed that liquidity. So right now we just need to be patient over the next couple of days. Is Bitcoin going to create some kind of reversal here off this bullish divergence, just like it created a reversal off its bearish divergence? So one thing we definitely want to see over the next few days is some kind of bullish engulfing candle, or a close above this body here. Okay, so let's keep an eye on this for Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do is zoom in on the hourly time frame, but what I want to show you on the daily before I do zoom in on the hourly is a potential reversal pattern that could be emerging here for Bitcoin. Okay, so again, it's all about patience, waiting for this to play out. If it does play out at all, what we're going to do is use the candle bodies. We're going to drop a trend line from that resistance point there, resistance point there, resistance point there. So this particular pattern that might begin to emerge is called a bump and run pattern. Okay, it's a reversal pattern. So what we're looking for Bitcoin right now is to obviously have stopped out just there, grabbed all that liquidity. People get really bearish, selling at that point. Oh no, it's going to zero and things like that. But you've not lost any structure. You've not lost any key significant lows yet. And then we begin a retracement back up into this level of resistance. If we begin to see this, take it out, fall back, there's your entry point, stop loss on the swing low, ride the long up, and you've got your massive bump and run reversal pattern, just like in this image here that I'm showing you. So you can clearly see in this bump and run reversal pattern, you've got your key resistance, you drop, double tap, see you later. In the process, you created this bottom, ran into key resistance, and then you dropped again, creating that kind of little bear trap, liquidity grab, stop pump, whatever. And you can clearly see that we did it in this chart here as well before we traced into this resistance of this trend line. So again, this is just something you could be patient for. But what I want to see here in this candle, within this candle, I'm going to zoom in a moment, I want to see 5 waves up to increase the probability of this. Okay, so there is absolutely the chance that that was your absolute bottom yesterday for Bitcoin. Okay, and right now it's pretty much up only, isn't it? And we'll ride these waves together. So what I'm looking at over the next few days, just carve out some kind of bullish engulfing candle, retracement within it, and then attack that level of resistance. I think if we start to see Bitcoin taking out this resistance, then it could be a major signal for you, to re-enter Bitcoin if you're not entered it already. Let's dive into the hourly time frame to see what we can see for Bitcoin. Okay. So looking at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, then what we're looking for is 5 waves up here. Now this is a beautiful 5-wave counter trade. Now I do teach you this in the space, okay? Always look for 5 waves to the downside or to the upside and counter them. And what you want to look for on any time frame this works, okay? 5 minute, 15 minute, whatever. You always look for bearish or bullish divergence on the counter. So for example here, we went short here, didn't we? We got the 1, we got the 2, we got the 3, then we pulled back 4, and then the 5. And with that, what we did create there was a bullish divergence. So that was an amazing short op for the CoinsKid crew. So just there, what we've got is a top and then lower high and lower high. So we're creating that massive bearish divergence, and eventually we come all the way in. Okay, but for me, this was a lovely little short up. But what I did take profit on that God candle breakout just there, because this is what I do. What we have got here, if you take a look, we've got a huge leg that's not been back tested as a resistance. So I'm eyeballing that resistance in a minute. I'm going to show you exactly why. So what we're looking at is a 5-wave counter trade, isn't it? Just there, an ideal place to go short with your stop on the high of wave 5, and then you ride it all the way back down to the technical target. The technical target is really simple. You can say it as much as you want, but the technical target is always where you've melted through resistance in the God candle. So you ran into the 5 waves up, you've got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and then boom, you short all the way back down to support. And you've made money on that daily time frame. Really simple. So right now, what we've done, we've come down in massive 5 waves as well. But from this leg here, we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. We put in a last little 5-wave move. So this was an ideal 5-wave counter wave move, sorry, a 5-wave counter trade yesterday for Bitcoin. Now, personally, I didn't do this because I was out all day yesterday. I wasn't looking at the charts, and I could kick myself. But anyway, the 5-wave counter trade is played out like an absolute boss. You've got your little 1, you've got your 2, you've got your big 3, your 4, and your 5, and you've got the reversal of that for us to the upside, basically. So this was an optimal entry point to go long with your stop loss on the bottom of wave 5, just like that was an optimal entry point to go short with your stop loss on the top of wave 5, and then you write it down. So what you want to see here is the opposite of a bearish divergence, which we've got on that top of that wave. We want to see a bullish divergence, and that's exactly what we've got just there for Bitcoin. Okay, so you've got your big bearish divergence at the top. After the 5 waves up, go short, stop loss on the top, job done. And just down here, we've got our beautiful 5-wave move down with a bullish divergence as well. So right now, we're looking for another 5 waves to come up, aren't we? So this is your wave 4, and if you start to take it out, you're going to have a final 5th wave. So where's this final 5th wave going to go to? So a level I'm looking at right now, because of the God candle breakout, like I said to you, that's my target right now. So you've got the God candle just there. In fact, what we have done, if you take a look, we've got a massive leg of support right now, which we lost, and we've eventually come back and busted through it. So this is technically beginning to look quite nice for Bitcoin, in the sense that if we do see 5 waves here, we've got a 1, a 2, a 3. Right now we're going through some kind of 4, and then we break again. This to me will be a very, very strong area of resistance right now, where if you are currently long on Bitcoin, that would be a good area to take some profit. Okay, and at that point we'll look to counter the 5 wave, find the bearish divergence, and counter that 5 wave back down to support. So where would the support be? Really is simple. So for me, and this could be part of the bottoming out process of Bitcoin over the next few days, leading to next week, and so on and so forth. But obviously we want to see the breakdown of the DXY, and we want to see that this low hold that we put in yesterday. Okay, so where's the next leg of support where we're looking to take profit on any shorts after the 5 waves up? So I'll try and teach you as best I can in the space. Okay, we've got the 1, we've got the 2, massive 3. You can clearly see it's a 3 going through some kind of wave 4 at the moment. If we take out this high, that's my key leg of resistance for you, just there. Mark that in at 2611188, which is his God candle breakout back test. Do you see that? Really simple. Where's my next leg of support if we do start to come back down the stairs? Well, for me, I'll be looking at this, because what we've done here, and even if we don't get as high as this in the next move up to the upside, the final 5th wave of this move up, and we go for a retracement, we don't get to this, I think we'll come back to this eventually. Okay, for Bitcoin. So it's this God candle breakout here. I'll be looking to short it on the next wave up, looking for the bearish divergence for Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, looking to load up that short with my stop loss on that swing high. I will keep you updated as best I can on that particular situation. I'll post it in a Discord and equally on Twitter, and then I'll be looking to ride it all the way back down to a simple target, which is this God candle breakout just there for Bitcoin. Okay, and it's all part and parcel of this chop and noise and making money on a daily basis for Bitcoin, aside from the macro. It really is that simple. Okay, so just riding the waves with you, and this is something I teach you in the space. So I'm looking at right now is a possible 1, 2, 3, consolidate, look for the final 5th wave, start to create some kind of bearish divergence or whatever up here for Bitcoin, increase the probability of the fact that you're going to come in for some kind of correction, and then the correction will come all the way back down, in my opinion, to a potential 25230 for Bitcoin. Again, this is a patience game. This is exactly what you could wait for Bitcoin to play out. If it does start to come back down to that eventually, then if it holds, it starts to come back up like that, you've made a high low, and you can't start to carve out some kind of reversal structure down there. And again, it's all patience. Okay, but on a day-to-day basis, you can make money in this space countering the 5 waves. You see it every time on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, whatever. You always counter the 5 waves, okay, with a correction or whatever, and you always look for the God candles to come back and be filled. It really is that simple. Okay, so you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and everything is for educational and entertainment purposes only. What I'm looking at right now is a potential final 5th wave to 26118. Fill that gap just there, vector candles, whatever. I just call it God candle breakdown. You've melted through support, that backtest and resistance. Come up, resistance retest, get that, and then start to roll again. Then you've got that key support test. The big question is, will it hold? Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.